Hi, my name is Shuri and this is my informative speech. So, I want to talk to you about sport. I know America is a huge sporting nation. Australia is a pretty big sporting nation too. I wanted to talk to you about women's sport and the support that it's recently been getting. But specifically, I wanted to talk to you about the Australian women's soccer team, the Matildas. Now, this team just recently had a fantastic World Cup. So in this recent summer, the Women's World Cup happened. It was hosted by Australia and New Zealand. And so this had a very significant effect on Australia. So this is Sam Kerr, the captain of the Matildas. Now, when she was younger, much like all of her teammates, there weren't many opportunities for sports like soccer or football or rugby for the girls. These kind of predominantly male sports were trickier for girls to partake in. So when she was younger, it was fine. She could just play with the boys. But when she got to about the age of 12, her parents wouldn't let her play anymore because she kept coming home with black eyes and bruises, and sometimes she would even be bleeding. She wasn't happy that her parents wouldn't let her continue to play with the boys because there was no girls' league, but she couldn't do anything about it. And then someone introduced her to soccer, which there was a girls' team for because it was a little bit less contact. Now, she wasn't so excited about this, but eventually she learned to love the game, and thank goodness she did, because she became such an amazing European football player. She really is exciting to watch and loves to celebrate her goals with a backflip, like you can see in this photo right here. She's also part of the LGBT community, and she actually just got engaged to Kristie Mewis from the US soccer team. Yes. But she's really showing everyone that you can just be yourself and there's opportunities for you in sport. She's really forged that path, not just for herself, but for a whole other generation underneath her. Of course, she didn't do this by herself. She did it with all of her teammates too. She's also named the 2023 most influential Australian due to this. She recently opened up a soccer club, a foundation, like a facility for the grassroots to come through and learn to play. The Sam Kerr Football Club. Here she is again, giving a jersey to a little girl, and here you can see like the impact she's really having. She's showing them that, you know, they can achieve big sporting dreams too, that it's not just for guys. Another team member of the Matildas is Katrina Gorry, and here she's showing that you can have a family and be an elite sports woman. Now, she had Harper in 2021, and in 2023 she's kicking butt at the World Cup. I love this photo. This is a photo of a plane. So Australia got through all the way to the quarterfinal against France during the World Cup, and here everyone's watching. It was the most streamed, most heavily watched sporting service in a decade in Australia. Everybody was watching, even people on the plane, as you can see. Now here, this is Courtney Vine. This is just before she kicks the winning penalty. Australia won 6-7 in penalties, which was a very exciting game, and it really shattered the stereotype that women's sport isn't as exciting to watch as the men's. it was a very exciting game. Here we have the Matildas at the end of the World Cup. They ended up coming in 4th. They lost the semi-final to England, but they really achieved all of their goals. They inspired a nation. They were the heart of a nation. And it made soccer so popular in Australia, and young boys and girls, especially the younger girls, have been inspired and shown that they can play these sports. And it was after the World Cup that Prime Minister of Australia, Anthony Albanese, he put $200 million into sports for women, into the women's sports. And so this is really opening many doors. Also, the Nike sponsors of the Australian soccer teams, they said that they sold double the amount of jerseys to the Matilda fans compared to the men's team, the Socceroo fans, in the most recent Men's World Cup in Qatar. So this shows that the Matildas had a significant impact on Australia, and this most current World Cup really had a global influence. And the Matildas have had 11 consecutive sold out games since just even before that quarterfinal with France. So they've really shown the excitement of women's sport. I hope you found that interesting. That's the Matildas.